Hi, I'm Jeff Laurie and I'm one of the co-founders here at Emerald Power. Today I want to give you a quick video about TCFD and explain a little bit more about what it means and how you can go about reporting on it. Essentially, TCFD, what it stands for is it stands for Task Force on Climate-Related Financial Disclosure. That means is it's a legislation that's been designed for any type of financial institution to report against their climate-related responsibilities and any risk associated with their investments in regards to climate. TCFD is quickly becoming the global standard for disclosing climate related financial risks. It's currently mandatory in a number of countries, including the UK, EU, New Zealand, and also Australia as well. What this means is that financial institutions in those countries now have to report against their climate risks and how they impact their financial position within the markets. So, what exactly is TCFD? Well, TCFD was created by the Financial Stability Board to improve transparency. TCFD is effectively designed to help financial institutions in their decision making and how climate change is having an impact on their financial position within the markets. It's broken down to four key pillars of disclosure. The first one is governance, which is board and management oversight, so essentially how you work in terms of your ESG. The second one is strategy, climate risks and opportunities. This is very much applicable to businesses and how climate change has a potential impact on their business. Risk management is obviously identifying what those risks are and how you can formulate an appropriate response to mitigate the risk against that. And then metrics and targets are how you go about tracking and setting reduction targets of your investments for future improvement across sustainability. The TCFD framework provides a clear framework for embedding climate risk into your decision making. So as I said, it's not just there for you guys to report on it, it's very much there to assist you in terms of your decision making going forward and obviously ensuring that you're taking the correct financial decisions based on upcoming climate legislation and risk associated with that as well. So how do you report against TCFD? Well, the first thing that you need to do is assess the governance and integrate climate risk into your decision making. So conducting an ESG survey amongst all of your investments is probably the most efficient way of doing so, and knowing exactly how those companies are behaving in a manner that's actually relevant to the environment, the governance, and also the social element of it as well. What you can also do as well is conduct a climate risk assessment, which will ensure that you know exactly if, for example, the price of oil goes up, how is that going to have an impact on your investment? Or if there's a flood, will you be able to still transport your goods around the world? These are all climate risk assessments that you need to take into consideration in the event of these transition risks happening. Step 3 uses a scenario-based analysis. So if, for example, the world temperatures were to go up by 1.5 degrees, would that have an impact on your heating bill? Would it have an impact on your fuel consumption? So basing how climate risk is going to play against your business, these are all things that you need to report on and disclose. And for step 4, you need to also define metrics and targets to track against. So monitoring your carbon emissions from your business and also what that means in terms of your financial exposure around those emissions. And then step 5 is simply gathering all of that data together and then publishing it in your financial reporting and also your sustainability reports as well. So because of all this, it does present a number of challenges associated with this reporting legislation. The best practices of reporting against TCFD is actually having a data in place in order to begin with. So using what data that you have available to you, accessing that data and then publishing it around various different frameworks such as CDP, GHG, whatever the framework is of your choosing. It's always best to engage with any stakeholders, investors, or regulators that you have in your value chain in order to collate this data. Now, obviously, it presents a number of challenges when it comes to this. There will always be data gaps and complexity because the sheer volume of data and the sheer metrics behind it are vast. And there will always be gaps in data due to different businesses using different frameworks, different collection points. There's always going to be gaps. The best thing you can do as a business is make the best informed decisions and use what data you have access to. With this in mind, you can then use a scenario analysis to gauge any levels of uncertainty based on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being that you're the most confident in the data you've collected, 5 being that you're the least confident in the data you've collected. What this shows is that you've taken time to analyze the data that you've collected from various stakeholders and therefore said, I know where my gaps are, and then you can obviously work towards improving it. You also need to ensure that you're aligning with the ever-evolving regulations that are coming. CSRD and SEC are now in play with a number of different companies, and as a result, it's important to align with those frameworks as well. All of these do present a number of challenges to any investment fund or stakeholders within the supply chain here. So it's very important that you have the right tools in place in order to streamline that data collection and get the process right off the ground. Essentially, what we do and how we help businesses is we provide them with that framework in order to allow them to collate that data without the need of having to hire multiple consultants using multiple different tools and collate that data. We provide one seamless solution that supplies information right up from portfolio companies into investment firms up to super funds. Our platform is designed to provide a secure data collection point between each and every stage of the investment journey to ensure that you can track your scope 3 emissions all the way down to the finance emissions that you're generating as a business. If you have any questions on this, I'll be more than happy to answer. If you're interested in utilizing a platform like Emerald Power in order to conduct your carbon footprint analysis across your value chain, you can pop me over a message or book a demo via our website, and we'll be more than happy to take you through the platform in more detail. Thanks so much.